Next out on track is the first race for the Superkarts, the British Superkart Racing Club Super Series. James, we haven't worked together previously, but good luck when you see them on the first lap, that's all I can say. 36 I think there are on the grid, and we'll quickly run through the grid while we've got some time. And on pole position is the 2 kart of Liam Morley, snatched pole position literally right at the death of the final qualifying laps, and pole position on a 36.405. Alongside him is the GP kart of Lee Harpham. Why is he GP? Well, Lee Harpham this year has won the Grand Prix in France at Manicourt. He's also won the British Grand Prix, where he obviously earned the GP plates at Donington in June, and just to wrap it up, won all 3 races at the Dutch Superkart Grand Prix at Assen in August. So great season for Lee Harpham. He's also secured sufficient points in the Division 1 category, so that's wrapped up for him already. So literally it's out to race for fun, I suppose, today, if you can race for fun, but he'll still want to beat Lee Harpham. Row 2 is the 87 kart of Jack Tritton. Jack has also secured sufficient points for second place in the Division 1 category, so once again he'll be looking for another win. Got his first win at Snetterton at the end of August, so Jack looking to reigning champion, but looking to get his second win of the season. Joining him on the second row, the 24 kart of Tom Rushforth. Tom vying for third place in the series at the moment. It's all fairly tight between Rushforth, Morley, and I think Carl Hume are all up in the shout for third place in the series. Row 3, the 55 kart of Ross Withrow. Made the trip across the Irish Sea, and Ross, very good performance in qualifying 5th at his first visit to Oulton Park. He's joined by the 29 of Tom Hatfield. Row 4, the 3 of Carl Hume. I did spot his supporters club in the hospitality unit alongside our commentary box. Carl joined by the 15 kart of Lou Clemson. Row 5, 8 Andy Gulliford and 84 Matt Robinson. Row 6, the S1 kart, that's the first of the 250 monos, and he's joined by the 35 of Samantha Henshaw. Row 7, 92 Ben Arden and the reigning champion 101 Lee Plain. Row 8, 9 Paul Von Gerard and 56 Michael Goff. Row 9, 42 Tom Riley and the 50 of John Busby. Row 10, 49 Michael Parr and 143 John Reeder. Row 11, the 107 of Aaron Powell and 132 Jordan Bailey. Row 12, 74 of Will Lawrence, and then the first of the 450s, that's the 26 kart of Ronan McClintock. Row 13, the 12 of Kevin Ridley, another of the 450s, joined by the 161 of Richard Connick. Row 14, 36 Tom Baldwin. Good to see Tom back out in the kart after a nasty accident he had at Cadwell Park earlier on in the season. And Tom joined on the 14th row by the 59 kart of Nick Flynn, another of the 450 drivers. Row 15, 147 Chris Balderson and 72 Richard Jewett. Row 16, 62 Andy Powell and 114 Mark Bradford. Row 17, 47 Aaron Mayle and 81 Ian Challoner. And on the final row of the grid, the 66 car of John Faulkner and 95 Daniel Lanson. If you haven't seen Superkarts previously, just a quick identifier. Division 1 twin cylinder karts, yellow number plates with black numbers. 250 monos, single cylinder 250s, white plates with black numbers, and the 450s will be red plates with white numbers. So the championship still to be decided in the mono category, and we'll be looking to see the progress of the S1 of Paul Platt, 35 of Samantha Hemshaw and 101 of Lee Plain. They're all starting on rows 6 and 7 with Ben Arden joining them there on the 7th row. So Ben could possibly act as a bit of a spoiler, but possibly the favourite for out of those 3 is Lee Plain. He's already dropped 3 scores so far this season, whereas Paul Platt and Samantha Hemshaw have still got to drop 2 more scores. So we pick up the 35 there of Samantha Hemshaw and Ben Arden. The lights are off of the safety car. It will be a slow first gear rolling start. Safety car bunching them up as they come under the Warwick Bridge. And all the drivers, as far as I'm aware, are on wet tyres. It was just a question of are they used wets or brand new wets. And Liam Morley trying to work out what tyre pressures for these now probably slightly greasy conditions. Safety car moves off into pit lane, red lights are on, so we'll be going to start this time around. It's Morley that leads up to the line. And lights out and away we go, and we're racing, and it's Morley and Harpham side by side as they head down into Old Hall for the first time. Tom Rushall, the 24 car, got into third place as they head down Cascade for the first time, and there is contact on the first corner. I can't quite see, that looks like it was the 55 I think of Ross Witherow spun on the exit of Cascades as they head through and down towards Island Corner for the first time. And I think, James, you can probably pick them up.
Yeah, I noticed the 24 cart of Tom Rushforth overtook Jack Tritton, so fourth moves to third, but I think otherwise the top four remained in the same order. I think the top eight probably remained in the same order as I briefly saw them going towards Island Corner. They're making their way round the Shell Oils hairpin, and difficult to pick the numbers up on the carts as they make their way back towards Britons and through Britons now, and hopefully now they come over hilltops, such as the speed of these supercarts. And the leader continues to be the GP entry, which is actually a change of position. GP started in first, now moves into second, and only number 2 of Liam Morley is relegated to second position. And in third is the black and yellow cart of Tom Rushforth ahead of Jack Tritton. So a few changes of position as the Lee Harpham number GP cart takes the lead from Liam Morley in second. Tom Rushforth in third place, and Jack Tritton now in fourth.
It looks like it's the 84 cart of Matt Robinson that's actually moved up into third spot ahead of Tom Rushforth as they cross the lines to complete the opening lap. And it's the GP of Harpham chased by the 2 of Liam Morley. Then it's Matt Robinson, Tom Rushforth. Then it's Jack Tritton from the 29 of Tom Hatfield and Andy Gulliford. Carl Hume next through, and then leading the 250 monos, it's the 101 of Lee Plain, looking further back in the mono category. Well, second in the monos at the moment is the 107 of Aaron Powell from John Busby. So where is Paul Platt and Samantha Hemshall? Were they mixed up in that opening sequence of spinners on the exit of Old Hall?
Yeah, well, we've got yellow flags at Island Bend after the first lap, and it looked like the Ronan McClintock driven cart was the one that I think was missing. Then we've had a few other carts that have gone straight through Knickerbrook, including number 55, which
I think that was Ross Witherow that actually got a spin on the exit of Old Hall at the start of the race. So Ross Witherow probably trying to make up ground from the back.
Yeah, the yellow flag still being waved at Island Bend as the leaders come into Knickerbrook for the second time of asking, and continues to be the GP entry who leads the way from at number 2 and then 84. 24 is in 4th ahead of 87 in 5th, 29 is in 6th, and 8 gets a skid on in 6th position, and that's the leading sextet. 3 and 101 round out of top 8, 42 in 9th, and then we have 56 and 9 in 10th and 11th. 107 is in 12th position at this stage, ahead of in 13th number 50 and 72 number 14. Back to you, Gary.
Morley makes an excellent move up the inside of Harpham as they come into Lodge Corner to take the lead. So as they come out of Deer Leap, it's side by side between the GP cart and 2. Harpham got the inside line, retakes the lead going into Old Hall for the third time, and Matt Robinson still there in third place, about 1.5 seconds off of Liam Morley. Rushforth there in fourth, and it's Tritton, Tom Hatfield, the 29 from Andy Gulliford, but the fight is on for the lead between the GP of Harpham and the 2 of Morley. These two have raced alongside each other for many years, including in the 125 category in Europe and on several UK circuits. So I did see the S1 and the 35 of Platt and Hemshall did come through at the end of the second lap. So those championship contenders in the mono class are still running, but obviously lost a lot of ground on those opening laps.
Yes, so the GP entry of Lee Harpen leads the way from Liam Morley in number 2, ahead of Robinson in number 84, and then we have Rushforth in number 24 rounding out the top 4. Nothing to split the leading pair here as they come back down into view, and we have a new leader. Number 2 of Liam Morley has taken the lead at some point going over Hilltop, ahead of, in second position, Lee Harpen, and they are the leading pair, and the third position car of Robinson has moved up to be very much in touching distance of the leading pair.
Certainly has, and interesting to see that Lee Plain, the 101, the leader of the mono class, has tagged himself onto the back of the 3 cart of Carl Newman. You can see going up through Clay Hill at the moment, so it's looking favourite for Lee Plain to secure the mono series if his day continues like this. The lapped or nearly lapped runner Samantha Hempshire still running, but here come the leaders in Division 1, and it's still Morley, the 2 cart, that leads the way from the GP of Lee Harpen. Matt Robinson, not quite, he hasn't really closed the gap. The fastest lap that time around for Liam Morley at 46.007, which when you compare that with a lap record of a 1 minute 34, you can see how these conditions are affecting the drivers. A big thumbs up from Luke Plain to tell Lee that he's got a huge lead in the mono category. Just going to look down to see it's Aaron Powell, his teammate, the 107, that's second in the monos at the moment, and John Busby having a good drive, the 50 car, one of the Parker Motorsport drivers there in P3 in the monos.
Yes, so the leader continues to be Liam Morley ahead of Lee Harpen in second, then Robinson in the 84 is ahead of Tom Rushforth, and Matt Tritton in the 87 continues to be in 5th position as they go over Hilltop and into Knickerbrook once more, and the order has been reversed. This time it is the GP entry of, no, it's the number 35 in fact. 35 has, I think 35 might be a bad marker there actually.
Yeah.
The leaders head up through Clay Hill. Back to you, Gary.
Okay, so Samantha Hempshire just about to get swallowed up by the faster twin-cylinder drivers as we pick up the battle between Tom Hatfield and Andy Gulliford over Clay Hill, but leaders under the Warwick Bridge and approaching Lodge Corner to complete 4 laps. It's still Morley from Harpen as they slither their way through on the tricky conditions. And if anything, I think the 84 cart of Matt Robinson is starting to close the gap. We'll have a quick look at the times that come across. Morley, if anything, just slightly stretched his lead over Harpen, and Robinson, quicker time of 46. Well, they're all on the 46.60s. I think Morley, 6/10 quicker than Harpen, but Harpen might get his hands full with the 84 cart fairly soon. Rushford's still there in 4th, it's Jack Trent 5th, then Tom Hatfield in 6th place, 29 cart ahead of the 8 of Andy Gulliford. Then here comes the local driver, Carl Cumin, 3 cart being carried by the 101 of Lee Plain, but in fact Lee doesn't necessarily need to overtake the 3 cart because he's still leading the mono category by quite a substantial distance. Absolutely,
so it looks like Liam Morley has got a bigger lead now, almost a second's gap over Lee Harpen in the GP entry in second position. And then closing that gap all the time in the 84 machine is Matt Robinson ahead of Jack Tritton in 5th position. In between those is the 4th placed number 24 of Tom Rushforth as the leaders, led on by Morley, are just going over Hilltop now and coming back into Knickerbrook very shortly, hopefully. And now I think we've gone up Clay Hill, and back to you, Gary.
Yeah, Will Lawrence we pick up as skated off at Lodge Corner. Driver safely out of the cart, but unfortunately the 74 cart beached in the gravel trap, so yellow flags on the entry into Lodge, and Lee Harpen and Matt Robinson had to get a lap on the 95 of Daniel Lanson, so I think the stewards might not worry too much about that with lap traffic, because that means that Harpen effectively has lost some valuable ground on the 2 cart. The gap now 2.4 seconds as Harpen was slowed up through Lodge Corner. That's allowed Matt Robinson, the 84 cart, to close right up onto the tail of the GP cart. So Lee already secured the Division 1 championship, but would still like to add more points. But it's the battle now for third place in the Division 1 between Morley and Rushford. Morley now securing more points to get him back up into third place. Lee Plain still heads the Monos as they head through Oulton, and leaders exiting Shell Oils Hairpin and heading back to Britain. So back to you, James.
Yeah, and there's quite a gap, isn't there, between third and fourth, merging at around 10 seconds between Robinson and Rushforth, so it's a tall order for Tom Rushforth to get those third position points from Matt Robinson as they head into Shell Oils, and it is still Liam Morley who leads the way in that green number 2 cart. He's got a fairly good advantage now over the GP of Lee Harpham in second position, but catching him all the time in the number 84 machine is Matt Robinson as they go up Clay Hill. And back to you, Gary.
Yeah, we don't often see this, but Liam Morley coming up to lap the S1 cart of Paul Platt as Paul involved in a spin in those early stages. So Paul Platt normally not lapped down, but just momentarily holds up Morley as they go through Lodge Corner, but moves out of the way, and Morley puts another lap on him. We've got 1 minute 18 on the clock, so starting their final lap, it's still the 2 cart of Morley who's now going to lead them 2.1 seconds. The fastest lap goes to the GP cart of Lee Harpham. So Lee Harpham not giving up on this race yet, James, and with let's say back markers come into play, there's every chance that Harpham could be on the tail of Morley again.
Absolutely, and looking to make advantage of those back markers as they have to go past 2 at Lakeside. There's Matt Robinson as at the moment Lee Harpham having to negotiate 2 back markers to head into Shell Oils Hairpin, and this is if anything giving the advantage to Liam Morley, the number 2 cart that continues to lead the way as they head into the final stages of this race, and they head into the final half of their lap going around the Shell Oils Hairpin. Morley still has the lead.
So we look out for the number 2 cart to head back towards Knickerbrook and back to home. He comes over Hilltop now, and I think the next target is the 26 cart of Ronan McClintock. So Ronan, let's see, leading the 450 category. So still that series to be decided. He comes up against the 450 as he goes up through Clay Hill. Gets past fairly safely. Stream across to start their final lap through Druids for the final time. No other traffic is going to disturb his race. So Liam Morley looking to get back to winning ways. Missed the last round at Snetterton. Checker flag being readied. Checker flag being waved, and good start to the day for the 2 cart of Liam Morley. Gets the valuable 30 points to try and get third place secured in the series. GP of Lee Harpham comes through next ahead of the 84 of Matt Robinson. Ronan McClintock a lap down but takes the win in the 450s from the 59 of Nick Flint. Tom Rushforth, the 24, just holding off a closing Jack Tritton at the flag. Finishing in 6th is the 8th cart of Andy Gulliford. A long gap before we see the 29 of Tom Hatfield, pleased with his day's work. Samantha Hempshall crosses the line 1 lap down, and I think that's 10th place in the mono category, so not a result that she would hope for, but drop scores now coming into play, so Samantha may be able to drop that score if she can pick up some better results later on in the day. Paul Von Gerard crosses the line behind Tom Riley for 10th and 11th. So that's the leading contenders. So I'll sign off now, and I think Jack will be ready to take over James, but surely the rest of the carts have come by you for the final time. And an exciting first supercar race, and hopefully we'll see some more of this. 2 more races this afternoon. The next one is at 2 o'clock-ish, I think. Was it 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock?
4:05 is the next time.
That's
yeah.
right, and then 6:05. So we are the last race of the day, but hopefully everyone will stay on and see the Superkarts unfolding as the day progresses.
And that's the final, so we'll get the championship decided for the 2024 season, which is
For the monos, certainly, yes.
which is really exciting.
I'll try and do some quick calculations as the day unfolds, James, to sort of let you know how close it's going to be coming into the last race. Certainly last year, Liam Morley just sneaked it by 1 point, so Jack Tritton by 1 point. So I'm going to sign off and see if we can get some chat with the drivers down in
No, brilliant. Well, rather you than me doing those calculations, but everyone, you can get to see these Superkarts 2 more times today at 4:05 and 6:05, and do stay for that final. It's going to be enthralling battles, I'm sure, as you've just seen your first Superkart race of the day.
I'll just quickly run through the results as they come on the screen.
Do.
So it's a win for Liam Morley, 3.5 seconds ahead of Lee Harpham. Third goes to the 84 of Matt Robinson, fourth the 24 of Tom Rushforth, fifth 87 Jack Tritton, sixth the 8 car of Andy Galliford, seventh the 29 of Tom Hatfield, eighth the 3 car of Carl Hume, ninth the 101 of Lee Plain, and 10th the 42 of Tom Riley. Okay, so an exciting Superkart race starts the coverage for this weekend, and we've got a top 3 for the podium. So the first driver up into 3rd place, Matt Robinson. Second place went to the champion-elect, Lee Harpham. And the winner, good to see him back on the track, Liam Morley. So we'll have a quick word with Matt first. Well, Matt, so you've been away from the circuits for a little while, but P3, happy with that?
Yeah, I mean, after qualifying this morning, we were 10th, so we actually got up to 4th on the first lap, 4th or 5th, I think. So to finish 3rd and only be a few seconds behind the guys who were on the front row was a positive, really. So yeah, can't take too many negatives away.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the lap times, but obviously it's going to be close on the grid for the next one.
Yeah, I think they were 2 or 3 seconds up the road, but I think we were all on the same times because I just couldn't bridge the gap. So yeah, it should be front 2 rows for the next race. So we'll go from there.
Great stuff. Let's hope it's a dry one. Let's have a word with Lee Harpham, P2. So, Lee, the series already wrapped up for you. Obviously, you'd have liked to beat this man, but a bit of traffic came into play.
Yeah, a bit of traffic coming into play, and back markers, yellow flags. It's obviously, with it being a mixed grid, we caught the back markers, and then it just sort of ruined the race, really. But no, happy with P2. So went a bit wrong with the pressures and lost the rear tyres a bit towards like midway through. So we'll see what the next one brings.
A few changes to make for the next one, but hopefully it'll be dry.
Hopefully it'll be dry, yeah. But if it's wet, then we know what to do. So we'll see.
Great stuff. Well done, Lee. And our winner. So Liam Morley missed the last round because of, shall I say, family commitments elsewhere, but back to winning ways.
Yeah, it's good to be back after missing a couple of rounds this year. So yeah, good battle with Lee over the first few laps. But once we managed to get in front, I think we pulled a little bit of a gap and just held it to the end.
Well, you see, this man's been the star all season, picking up all these GP wins and whatnot. So you need to sort of prove a point.
Yeah, I've got to take a couple of wins off him. I know throughout the year, I can't let him win everything. So yeah, good to get that first one back in the bag.
Looking forward to a dry race later, or are you happy with these conditions?
I don't mind these conditions. Obviously, I'd like it to be dry, but if it stays like this, it stays like this. I'm not too fussed either way.